So we'll start with some technical questions.
Sure, sure, yeah.
I'm sharing you one link in chat box.
Sure.
What you need to do, you have to just open that link and share your screen.
Sorry, can you tell me the name? Like, I'm not, I can't able to see the chat over here.
Okay. So
I can't able to see the chat. I have sharing the screen. You can see here. I'm not sure why it's not coming up.
um, it's your office laptop, right?
Oh no,
I,
this is my personal one.
okay, fine. Then no worries. You do you have any ID? I think you have Eclipse and SKS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So can you open that? Oh, perfect. So create one class and initialize one array.
Mm, yes. I can go
Take public static void main. Not taking.
okay, one second. Um,
Hold on, it will.
yeah. So
Okay, so initialize one array.
list of any array.
No, it should be int,
Okay, array. Okay.
and the value should be like 10, comma 7, comma 8, comma 10, comma 7, comma 8, comma
10 comma 8 comma 7 comma
10, 10, comma 7,
10
10, comma 7,
10 comma 7
comma 8,
comma 8
comma 1,
1
comma 8,
8.
comma 7, comma 6.
Okay.
Okay. So what you need to do, you have to write a code to get first repeating element in this array. First repeating, meaning when you execute this main class, it will print the first repeating value. And better you use like collection or map.
Okay. Can you use collection, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm, Yeah, like first repeated it will be like once again.
How? 7 is also repeating, right? If you see the index 10,
Okay.
7, 8, 7 is duplicating first,
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I got it.
So once done, click on execute or run the class. See what will look out. 0.
One second. Um, keyboard put array. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, 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 perfect. So you stop your sharing.
Okay.
So which JDK version you have used in your project?
Java 8.
Java 8. So tell me some features of JDK 1.8.
Huh, okay. Basically, we used to use streams, streaming, yeah, using the streams, filters, mapping, and collecting to a list and grouping by object. That is also one feature that added. In that, day we have a lambda expression also. Lambda expression internally uses a function interface that is also introduced in 1.8. What a function interface in the sense which contains a single method. Only it should contain a single method means triangle method abstract class, so that can be the function interface. That is one. And in interfaces we have default keyword to implement the methods over there. That is also introduced, and they have introduced the dot for each method in iteration class for in the collection means in the iteration class. So that is also one. And they introduced the optional as a class where we can what if an object means earlier if we are directly pulling the object, we directly if we assume sometimes we assume and we will just directly go and get the value of the from the object before checking the null pointer. So what happens is optional, it will we if we put into the optional, so we can check like if it is present, then we can go further. That is optional.
Okay,
And we have a sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, and we have a time zone one like local date time also they came up with um, mm, local date time optional default lambda expression optional. Yeah, these many only I have aware.
Okay, fine, fine, fine. So we have one term called predicate in functional interface,
Huh,
right?
predicate.
So what is the return type of predicate?
I think like that is returns a string of value which contains rule of conditions. I'm not sure, but
Okay,
I have just I have after using while predicate getting the value I didn't return that, I was just placing, but in the predicate while debugging I saw that that is contains using a string format. I'm not sure.
okay, fine. So in string we are calling dot filter function, right?
Streams, yeah.
So why we are calling dot filter function?
In the object in the list of objects, if we are doing any filtering over there and to collect the objects, like in top on top of some value, we need to filter the objects in the list of objects. So we'll be using the filter. Like any value, if you think a employee is an object and it contains a age, and we are thinking like a age more than 10 years, we need to get the only the particular object means we'll have a filtering over there, and we can collect the object all the needed objects, so that.
Okay, fine. So in collections, suppose I want to convert array list to array. So what is the predefined method I have to use? Array
Analyst to
list to array.
I have converted arrays from ArrayList using arrays.asList. Arrays to array, I'm not sure. Maybe I think ArrayList have a method which will convert to the array, to array, maybe method. I have not used that.
Okay, and array list to array.
Ah, that's what ArrayList to array. I'm not sure. From array to ArrayList, we have arrays dot as list that will convert.
Okay. So what is difference between fail fast and fail safe? Hello.
Yeah. 1 second. Um, I'm not getting.
Okay, perfect. So do you have experience in multi-threading?
Yeah, I've been working on that.
So tell me, which scenario we are calling notify or wait and sleep?
Notify in the sense like one thread already is working with, and another thread is in a waiting stage, like wait method, like one thread already is going with, and that is waiting to another thread to complete the process. So the means you can think like T1 and T2 will be the threads. T1 is started to working with some process, and T2 is process something, and it is waiting for T1's process to complete, so it will be in a waiting stage. If T1 is done with this process, then it will need to notify the other threads to it is complete the day. So we will be using notify all in the sense like that is like notifying all the other threads, like all the threads to notify. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you have experience in Spring Boot as well, right?
Yeah, I've been working in Spring Boot.
Okay, so we have one annotation in Spring Boot that is at the Spring Boot application.
Yeah.
Hope you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So internally it will call three annotations. What are the annotations?
Oh, at the rate configuration, at the rate enable auto configuration, at the rate enable component scan.
Okay, so tell me why we are using that.
Configurations like bean configurations and all will be there. So bean creation and all. So if we are doing any bean creation, we'll be using for a other configuration. Bean creation not only, any other configurations we need means we'll be using for other configuration. But Spring Boot internally uses for bean configuration for many places. And auto component scan is like we have defined many places like other service, other repository, other component, and other controller and all. So if we are doing any auto add of the particular service, it will create a bean for us. So that is like we need to that project, I mean Spring Boot need to scan the entire project to so that it will need to create the beans of the beans already while starting the project. So that is one. And auto configurations in the sense um, by default there are some beans we need to create and keep, like if you think like application properties, we can have a database configurations and all. So the by default at the start of the application it should be automatically configured and need to be created a data source. So that configurations and all it will be done automatically, means
Okay,
mainly everything whatever needed it will be done using that.
okay. Can you see your chat box?
I don't have chat. I told right.
Okay, fine.
Right.
So
Can you
can
share?
type there, type there.
Okay, one second. I'll share my screen. Here only shall I type or notepad shall I put?
Notepad.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, at the rate rest controller.
The rate rest controller.
Opening bracket and closing bracket. Yeah, in between slash user, double quote slash user. Can we call like this?
No, we can't call. It will not take. We need to use the rate request mapping.
Perfect. Okay. So, do you have have you used at the rate query annotation in Hibern in
Yeah,
GPA or no?
JPA have used.
So why we are using that? In which
Basically,
scenario?
yeah, basically in many scenarios in JPA, we can if you are finding with a variable, we can directly put as a find by ID or find by the name or anything, find by name and ID like that and all. We can write automatically, so automatically it will create the query. If the query is most complicated, most we can't able to write in the find by, then we'll go with the right query and we will write our own query. And if that is also it is not feasible, hibernate query means HQL query we can't able to write, means we'll go with a native query over there, so we can directly write the native query as well. So basically,
Okay,
yeah, for that it will be using.
perfect. So do you have experience in microservice?
Yeah, yeah.
What is client certificate?
What is?
Client certificate.
Um,
Not enough.
like you were telling, private key and public key of the particular service.
No, 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 no. In microservice, we have one term called client certificates. Okay, fine. What is OAuth in microservice?
OAuth is other services we'll be creating for authentication. So OAuth is a security, like token based authentication security it will give. In our previous company, I have used a OAuth, using OAuth, generating a JWT token, and with using certified like private key and public key, we'll generating a JWT token, and we used to pass. So using that, in the JWT token, we used to have user details encrypted by private key, and by logging in by the user IDs, it will be logged in, and the token will be generated, and other microservices will be utilizing the token to get the responses using that token. And in the token we'll be having user details, so if any role based authentication or any user details we need, we can get from encrypting decrypting that by public key.
Okay. So, what are the basic challenges we are facing while doing microservices?
Basic in the sense, like earlier monolithic was like everything in a single project it will be working on, but in microservice if we will be dividing everything in a module based. So if one module is having some feature around the user table, everything like entirely working on a user table and some connecting with another table, and we are thinking we will be having other two tables which is implemented, which is connecting in other service. Means you can think like one is request generating, another one is ticket generating. Ticket is generating, and request is a request generating is a separate table. So request things will be having in a separate microservice, and ticketing things, everything, assigning the getting everything will be done in a separate service. If you think, if request service need to be called to the microservice, then we have to interact with the REST template or REST framework by the API internally, if from the UI if calls. um, that is the one thing, like connecting to the another microservice will be the thing, by calling the APIs to the one microservice to another microservice. And tracking also, like if any API is failing, we need to track the like where from the API one, the API is calling from the UI and it is hitting to the one microservice, and that internally it is to the 2 3 in microservice. Then tracking also, like we have to pass some IDs and all, we need to track from where to where it went and where the issue is there. So that is also another one. mm,
Okay, fine, fine, fine. So, have you used Swagger in your project?
yeah, yeah.
And you have experience in Kpiana, Docker?
No.
No.
Mhm.
Okay. Jenkins?
Jenkins also not.
Not. Okay, fine. And which database you are using? Oracle, SQL, Mongo,
Currently, Microsoft SQL.
MySQL. Okay, fine. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Nandish, I'm done. Do you have any question?
No, nothing. That's all.